Hello, hello. Alrighty guys, it's Hybrids Ghost back with another video. I know it's been a while since I recorded the last video. It's been about a month, but now it's summer, now it's grind time. I'm going to be trying to put out 2 videos a week, maybe 1 to 2 videos a week. That is my goal. And yeah. And today I'm starting another 3-part series of it's basically a trading guide, how to trade efficiently in 2022. So I'm making a full out, planned out trading guide. And what I'm planning today is to just do part 1, explain some things, and how to get started with trading. So with trading, there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of steps to trading if you want to get into it, if you want to get rich, stuff like that. Number 1, you need to know values and wraps. Values and wraps. Let's go over that. So here's my credentials so far. This is I started this account in about January, December. It's been about 5 months. Made 500K from nothing. But let's talk about values and wraps. So when you're trading, you always want to make sure you're getting the values of the trade and the wrap of the trade. For instance, these bigger items right here, all you really need to pay attention to on bigger items, because everything is value based now, which means the site Rollimans controls all the values besides like small items like these. Anyways, with bigger items, all you need to know the values. For instance, Beast Mode is 100K, Blizzard Beast Mode is 100K, Black Iron Horns 65K, Pink Galaxy Gaze 60K. These are just examples of some values and some wraps. As you can see, these don't have a value request, they just have the wraps. So TJ is about 7K, Omega is about 4K. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Values and wraps are pretty simple. And again, let's say you start with the bigger item. I know I'm jumping ahead right here, but you want to know what items get overpays, how much overpays they get, and how much overpay you need to get it, and how much overpay you want to get off it to get profit. For example, I'll talk about that later in the video actually. Let's just start. When you want to start trading, let's start on what you want to buy and how you want to get into trading. So first off, when trading and when you're starting small, I would recommend getting an item that has a lot of demand. So items that have a lot of demand are popular items that people like to wear, people like to buy, and there's popular items that get a lot of trades. For example, my favorite item when I was small, when I was a smaller trader, and I still am a smaller trader, but my favorite item that has really good demand, gets really good overpays, is the Black Iron Commando. A lot of the commandos do get overpays, and especially the Black Iron Commando. It's really good on your avatar. A lot of people always want it, and a lot of people always pay good for it because it has lots of demand, it sells frequently, and it looks good. That's what you need to think about. What do people want in the trading realm? Well, people want items that look good, right? Therefore, a smaller item like Commando, or items like headphones, items like faces, like this green starry sight, for example. It looks good on your avatar, and a lot of people want it. Therefore, I'd say when you're starting trading, I would recommend you go for a demand item like green starry sight, Black Iron Commando, stuff like that you can profit off of. Because the whole point in trading is you want to get rich, right? Thus, you want to get an item you can profit off of. So that's the one thing. So we talked about values and wraps. We talked about starter items. Another thing we want to look for is how many starter items you want. So let's say you want to get into trading and you only have like 2,000 Robux. Well, personally, I would recommend you start with at least 4,000. I know It's a big jump, but starting from like under 4,000 is quite literally, I'd say it's impossible. So I would definitely recommend, if you have like, let's say you have 4,000 Robux, you get a Black Hire Commando and you get a Gucci Limited. Let's look it up. So a lot of these times these Gucci Limiteds are about 1K, somewhere around there. And if you get Black Hire Commando for 3K, and a Gucci Hire for 1K, that's about 4K. And the reason I recommend starting with 2 items is because the fact that you can upgrade and or downgrade with them. Alright, so now that we talked about starter items and values and wraps, let's go through what I look for when I'm trading someone. So maybe a little laggy, but let's click the first guy right here. So what I'm looking for when I'm trading someone is, depending on whether you're upgrading and downgrading. Actually, let me explain how you upgrade and downgrade before we do that. Alright, let's go through some of my completed trades. So when you upgrade, you're giving multiple items for 1 item. This is a perfect example with this guy named Chris Bacon. I'm giving 4 items, a little bit of Robux for 1 item. This is an upgrade where you do have to, you tend to have to overpay a little bit when you upgrade, just so you can secure that item. But yeah, this is an upgrade. Here's another upgrade. I'm giving 4 items for 1 item. That's a 4v1, and that's a good upgrade because you're just upgrading. Let's look for a downgrade. Okay. This is a perfect example of a downgrade. I'm giving 1 item for 4 items. That's a downgrade. So when you're trading, it's all about upgrades and downgrades. So Fuchsia Fantastic is about 170k, and I downgraded for 65 plus 65, which is 130, plus 60, which is 190, plus 2k, which is about 192 for 170. So when you're downgrading, you always want to try and get an overpay. And when you're upgrading, you tend to have to always give an overpay. So when you're downgrading, that's where you make your profit. When you're upgrading, that's when you lose a bit of your profit to make more profit. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Anyways, let's go through what I look for in trading. So we'll use this guy as an example. As you can see, he has a lot of low demand items. Low demand items are items with low available copies, and not a lot of people own them, and they're just not in demand. So the only demand items I really see are Catching Snowflakes and Blue Whistle Wink. Both of these items are good looking faces and have a ton of available, and they have a ton of available copies. All right, let's look at someone like this guy. Let's look at someone like Hazes. All right, he's a lot of demand items. As you can see, you make a lot of profit when having demand items. So all these items down here tend to have a lot of owners and tend to be in high demand. Thus, those are the items I'd recommend when you're trading. So we have talked about values and wraps, upgrades and downgrades, what to look for when you're starting, and all that. Now let's get into the basis of trading. How do you generally make profit? All right. So I'm going to show you how I'll structure a trade. So I'm going to do something small. That way, I know a lot of you starter traders know what you're really doing. So let's see. I'm going to send to I'm trying to find someone that looks... All right, let's send in this guy. Roku Pelta. All right. So, I believe he only has 1 item. Okay. How long have I been recording? Okay. He has 1 item. Blue Mace Face. So this is what I look for when I'm trading. First off, you want to go in the face and see if it's selling over wrap. As you can see, it's selling over wrap, therefore it means it's not projected. here is what a projected item means. If you go on Rolling Mints, you can see a projected item. Usually has this icon, but let's go to this page. As you can see, its average price is higher than the selling price. Therefore, that is projected. You always want to stay away from these projected items because you will just not profit and you'll end up getting scammed. So never go for a projected item. Anyways, we see the average price is lower than the selling price, therefore it's not projected. So blue mace face. So when I format and upgrade, I tend to want to overpay a little bit because I'm upgrading. So I'm going to do this in my favor and try and get as much profit as I can. So we are probably going to send him, let's structure something. Let's do Halloween. I always like to double check if they're selling under. That's a decent item to send him. Halloween. We'll send him to Halloween. No. Alright. We'll send him a Halloween. We'll send him this. And then what about this? No, it's a bit much. Alright. So when you're upgrading, when you upgrade with wrap, when you're starting low, you only want to overpay 100 to 150 wrap maximum. But when you downgrade, I'll show you guys. So let's see. Alright, we'll send him this. Alright, so we're going to send him 5,905 for 5,825. This is about an 80 wrap overpay, and I'm upgrading. So this is what I tend to do. I send 80 wrap overpays, and then you try to make more when you downgrade. So maybe he'll accept, maybe not. But let's go through some inbound trades. So that's an outbound, that's a downgrade. Let's look, this is an upgrade, sorry. Let's look for something where I can downgrade myself. Let me see. Another thing is, I would not recommend trading a trader who has over 1 million. You'll tend to only lose that trade. Alright. Let's send a guy, trade to this guy. Actually, let's do this guy. Dr. Crowded. Alrighty, you guys. This is how I'm going to format another trade. Alright. Okay, so when I click this, you always want to search up what the value is in this item. So I already know what the subtitle is. I already know the value, but for you guys, this is 55k value. Alright, so 55k. We're going to want to upgrade this item because this is pretty trash. So what I like to use is this. When you log into Rolling Mints, this is the easiest way to calculate your stuff. So let's get his item. Bruh. Alright. Now let's see. I don't want that because I really hate that. How much is this? Okay. So we'll do this plus this. As you can see, that's 52k. And gold tends to get 3 to 5k overpays. But let's see if we can get it for 1k. And I'm going to send him that. Plus, we'll do a Gucci. So we're doing about 1.7k overpay for this. Again, let's see what I sent him. Let's send him this so he thinks it's a bit more. Anyways, 28 plus 24. which is 52, plus about 4K. So 56 plus about 800, so 56.8. This is about a 1.8K overpay for 55K. And again, it's another upgrade. I tend to overpay a little bit when I'm upgrading because that's how you get trades completed. Oh my god. Alright. Now we're going to counter one inbound trade to show you guys. These are a lot of bots, so we'll counter this guy. Alright. So as we know, this will be the last thing. Again, to help you guys out, always look on rolling mints and see how much an item is. So we know neon is 13K value. Always look at the value. And we know legit is 10K. So 13 for 10K. I'm going to do 13 for 14.5. Because I'm downgrading, I want to get a bit in overpay. This is about a 1.5K overpay for me. And I'm going to send it because he's upgrading and I'm downgrading. Therefore, he needs to overpay. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching part 1 of that video. We did go over values and wraps, how to look for starter items, how to look for trade items, and sending some trades through. Next video will be a more in-depth explanation on how trades work and like how to profit at a fast rate and what I do myself to profit really well. Anyways, please subscribe. Thank you for watching part 1. Peace.